Shalom, this is Amonute Tayac of Piscataway, Sophia Spiritualite, the AmaruKhan Miriyam, and this is the first or one of a few teaching lessons we're going to do. I want to explain these tools that I designed to assist with the new moon and the full moon experiments. So if you're not familiar with the new moon and the full moon experiments, basically what we're doing is we're using the new moons and the full moons in succession, meaning a Virgo new moon with the Virgo full moon with the Virgo new moon to align ourselves with the energy that is assigned to us. This is based on your specific chart. This is not a generalized thing. Nobody can do it for you because it's really designed for you to connect with the energies that are assigned to you. So every month we have about 2 meetings, one for the new moon, one for the full moon, and we go over how to best align yourselves with these energies. Now, if you're not familiar with the spirit intelligences, you'll have to go over to Big Levi's page and listen to all his videos where he goes through all the spirit intelligences, all the constellations, all the energies, and you'll have to familiarize with yourself with that material. It is taken from a book by Franz Bardon. I can't remember what the book is called. What is the book called? Hold on, y'all. That's probably important. Let me see. It's taken from the book by Franz Bardon, which is, I'm going to find it. I didn't even think about that. What is it? I think it's the yeah, Practice of Magical Evocation by Franz Bardon. And I do have worksheets that I made and also a workbook that I made if you want a physical copy of not what Franz Bardon does, but kind of with my own little twist on it. But if you want to get the actual book, it's the Practice of Magical Evocation by Franz Bardon. Then you will, in coordination with your particular chart, which you need to in this for the purposes of doing these experiments, you need to cast your chart in whole sign houses so that you are able to see what energy is assigned to what house number. All of those things are relevant. So on the screen we have this is one that I'm doing for AmaruKhan. So I'm actually doing one for myself, and then I'm doing one for America separately. So this is the one I'm doing for AmaruKhan. So in AmaruKhan's chart, I have my, and when we meet each every other week, you get a copy of my PowerPoint presentation with a lot of notes in there, so you can follow along and do this for yourself. But I just want to explain some of these things in a little more detail because I don't think people really seen anything like this. Nor is it necessarily the easiest thing to understand. So at the top of the page, and I'm just going to annotate this, which is why we're in this form. At the top of the page, we have the this is the Jupiter constellation. What? Okay, what's going on? Jupiter constellation. And so in this case, this is the 7th house, which is Libra. Okay. All right. So America's 7th house, whole sign house, is Libra. The spirit intelligence. Okay, the spirit intelligence assigned with the seventh house is this one right here that I won't say. But this is Libra because America's seventh house, full whole house is Libra. Now, how did we get this? Oh gosh. So when you look at the whole sign house, right? When you look at the whole sign houses, you're going to have a different whole sign house, typically, meaning the overall the seventh house is Gemini, or Gemini is in the seventh house on the chart, I believe. I think that's how I do it. Hold on, let me look. My poor brain. I done did this so many times and I can't even remember how I come up with this. I'm glad I'm doing this video because I know that. Oh, it's what house your Gemini is in. Okay. All right. So it's what house your Gemini is in. So Gemini is in the case of America, this, let's just put this at the top. This is America. In the case of America, Gemini is in the seventh house. In on a typical basically in a unassigned astrology chart, the seventh house is always known as the Libra house, and the Libra house is associated with this spirit intelligence that I won't say here at the top. So this how I get this. So you have the whatever house your Gemini is in your chart, whatever house your Gemini is in your chart, that is the house that you are connected with on that cycle. Because remember, we're talking here about the Gemini full moon. Okay, we're talking about the Gemini full moon. Let me just put that down here. All right, so let's start back over from the top. This is Gemini full moon. At the very top of this withdrawal slip, I'll explain that in a little bit. You have the spirit intelligence, which is the Jupiter constellation spirit intelligence that's associated with your Gemini house. In this case, the Gemini house is the seventh house. The seventh house is associated with Libra or this particular spirit intelligence up here. That's how I get that part. I hope that makes sense. You might have to, I know I kind of confused it, so you might have to listen to this part a few times. All right, so for each spirit intelligence, I have an I am statement that's assigned to it. This is your I am statement. Okay, so on the top of my withdrawal slip, what I'm trying to have occur, I will start with my I am statement. So that's on our spreadsheet that we have. So in this case, we're talking about for AmaruKhan releases any and all blockages to harmony, balances, relationships, legal counsel, marriage, and marriage for the daughter Zion and the American people. That's our I am statement. Okay, so down here, I just put specific things that I know are issues in relation to the I am statements. So this is these are specific issues. Okay. So, and also the full moon is about removing blockages. And the new moon is about receiving. Oh, I thought I printed it out. No, I didn't. Ugh. The new moon is about receiving um receiving experiences. Okay, because the full moon is full, got all that light there. It's gonna eclipse or block out anything that needs to be blocked. The new moon is empty, so it'll let all the energy that you need come in. Okay, I hope that makes sense. So, in the case of AmaruKhan, all blockages to real legal counsel are now removed. All blockages to harmony and balance in life are now removed. All blockages to the marriage of daughter Zion and American people with the higher dimensions are removed. And then, of course, very, very important, you want to thank the entity that is working with you. Very, very important to me. Of course, we always do this in all caps. Let me just put that. So, these are specific issues. The ones I just read are things that I have I see are specific problems, specific blockages that I can see. And of course, when you're doing the new moon, it will be specific things you want to receive in relation to your I am statement. Okay. So the reason I call this a withdrawal slip and the other one is a deposit slip. This is a withdrawal slip. This is for right burn and release. This is for right burn and release, okay? This one, so what I do is I make two copies. I handwrite 2 copies. I print this out. There's 2 of them come on a page. I print out 1 page which has 2 copies. I copy the same thing on one side as I do on the other side, and then I keep one to refer back to, and then I burn the other one. Now, always when you do a right burn and release, you want to do with ancestor money. Okay. So, this is how I fill this form out, or this document out. And I'll just go through it, one more time. So, starting with let me switch over to highlighter. So, starting with the top of the page here. Ooh, that's too big. Starting with the top of the page here, that spirit intelligence name is the Jupiter constellation spirit intelligence. It is connected with what house your related moon is. In this case, we're talking about the Gemini full moon down here. So the Gemini is the 7th house for America, because we're doing this for America, right? So Gemini is the 7th house for America. The house number that's associated with is Libra. The spirit intelligence associated with Libra is this one right here at the top of the page. Okay. And again, if you want to go through all of this, Big Levi did this on his page, so you'll have to go over there, take a listen to those videos. So at so after I have that on there, I write down the I am statement. I have a list of I am statements that I give out on our when we have our meetings about twice a month. Free meetings twice a month. Okay. And so this one for AmaruKhan is I am releases any and all blockages to harmony, balances, relationships, legal counsel, marriage for the daughter Zion and the American people. Something else I want to point out here is even the color is associated with the spirit intelligence. So this color for the Gemini 7th house is light pink and light blue. So that's why I use this don't look as pink as it does to me, but I use pink for this. That's why I use that color, because that color is associated with this spirit intelligence in this house. Okay. And then I have specific issues that I request blockages to remove. That's these other 3 or 4 statements. I usually just try to fill up the whole page. All right, at the very bottom, I always make sure I put thank you. And then this is a right burn and release. So you want to right burn and release this always, if you can, with some ancestor money. Another thing I want to point out is the time. The time this has to be done. because this is related with the 7th house, is Anael. Ooh, I should have said that. But anyway, that's the hour. So then I have another sheet that's included with our worksheets that tell you what hour that is. So what I will do is I will prepare, especially on a right burner release, because there's so many different parts. I will prepare this beforehand, and then I will put it into my vessel that I use to do that I use to burn my ancestor money, along with my ancestor money. When the time comes to actually burn this, I will do a prayer. I do my daily prayer that you hear over on my Ortho Sister channel. I do my daily prayer, my regular daily prayer, but you can do any prayer with Psalms or whatever you want to do. I do my daily prayer. And then I already have some incense burning because I always burn incense when I do my prayers. And then once I finish my prayer, then I will read this whole thing. I will read this whole thing out loud. I read this whole thing out loud from beginning to end. While it's burning or before it burns, either or. I read this. That's why also why I make 2 copies so I can read it out. I read this whole thing out from beginning to end. And when by the time I'm done, that's done. I cross my peace. Lord have mercy. Glory to the Father, and to the Son, and to the Holy Spirit. And then that's it. I'm done. So this is how I do this. Let me write that on here. So I will, I'll do my daily prayer. I do my daily prayer. And then I read this page. Then I will, I'll burn the whole thing. And then, of course, a closing. Okay? That's how I do this. And then I make sure I do it at the proper time. So I hope this makes sense. If you all want me to turn this into like a step-by-step, let me know and I can do that. But I don't want to waste my time doing it if nobody really needs it but me. Because basically I've got this down packed. This is how I do it. And of course you're welcome to get on our newsletter list so you can join in our calls. I go through this stuff every month. If anybody has questions, I answer them, and we need to identify your whole sign house. I'll walk you through the process or whatever the case may be. Of course, if I've already done your chart and you need a whole sign house chart, please contact me and I will give that to you. That's not a problem, but I hope this makes sense. I felt like I needed to go into detail about how this works. The difference between this one, and I'll do the one for the new moon so I have an example. The difference between the withdrawal slip and the deposit slip is with the new moons, we don't write, burn, or release. We just take those and we hold them somewhere. I have mine all together. I actually put mine underneath my cross on my altar. So, but that's the difference. Withdrawals is write, burn, or release. Deposits, we just take them and hold them. So I hope this is helpful for people. Please get on our newsletter, join our Discord server, and I post the links when we get ready to have the meetings. They're about twice a month. So, shalom everyone, and we'll see you in the next video.